I'm going to be ranking the top 100 cards right now in NBA 2K23 My Team. Yes, you guys heard that right. The top 100 cards in NBA 2K23 My Team. As of right now, I'll be putting them in 5 different tiers, S tier all the way down to F. And you guys can see as I'm scrolling down, these are going to be all of the cards in the tier list. But guys, let me know in the comment section down below, who are some of your guys' favorite cards in My Team? Because these are the top 100 cards in My Team, in my opinion. And I'll be ranking them from S all the way down to F tier. So we got a big video. Hopefully you guys do enjoy, and leave a like and drop a sub if you guys obviously are new here. But talking about the first card here on the 100 card tier list is going to be Galaxy Rudy Gay. I think he's, or is there 6 tiers? I think there's 6. I could be wrong. Yeah, it was 6. There's 6 S all the way down to F. But yeah, Rudy Gay, such a good small forward. I still feel like he probably deserves to be in B tier just because of the fact that he's 6'8" with a 7'3" wingspan, plays really good defense, has a great jump shot, and really good at going to the rim. I mean, he's just a good small forward. I would say probably somewhere in B tier. You guys probably can guess, but I can't go too much in detail about every single card. I just got to quickly go through them and give you guys my breakdown. Obviously, I'll go more in detail when I need to. But talking about AK, I think he's a great defender, still one of the best defenders in my team, plays really good defense, has a pretty good jump shot. I would just say he's slightly worse than a guy like Rudy Gay at the small forward position. Alex English, I think is probably C tier. I would say he's a very underrated shooting guard in the game, even by me personally. I didn't think he was that great of a card until I used him and started playing against him a lot, but he's actually very elite at that shooting guard position. So for me personally, I would put Alex English probably in C tier. And man, I feel like you got to throw F. He's just not a great card in the game. I wanted to throw him on this tier list just because he is the domination reward, and some people want to know like about the card and how good he is, but realistically not that great of a shooting guard. I would throw him in F tier. LaMelo Ball, I feel like he is going to be our first S tier player. For this tier list, I'm probably going to do my top 15 to maybe 20 cards in the S tier category. Usually I only do top 5, but I think I'll probably do top 15. That's what I'm kind of aiming for now. If I want to put some more cards in S tier later in the video, maybe I'll do like a top 20, but for now I'm kind of going for my top 15 cards in S tier, and I feel like you gotta have LaMelo Ball somewhere in there. I think he's probably a top 3 card, maybe top 2 card in the, yeah, probably top 3, top 5 card in the game. He's just so elite at the point guard position. Looking at the next card is going to be Mike Bantam. I would say he's probably A or S tier. I'm gonna probably put him in S tier. I think he's such a good small forward, maybe the best small forward in the game. Him and Jonathan Isaac and LeBron is a very close debate, but yeah, I would say Mike Bantam probably safely in that S tier category. Has a great jump shot, plays really good defense, and especially with that dynamic duo, he has a ton of Hall of Fame badges. Nicholas Batum, I feel like is probably that perfect D tier spot. He's not terrible like Anthony Edwards. Like F tier is going to be cards that are, you know, there will be some cards better than Ant in F tier, but F tier is going to be like cards I really wouldn't recommend running. B tier might be some budget options, some guys that are solid, and then anything from like C all the way up is going to be cards that are definitely usable and really good in game. At least that's how I'm going to do the tier list. Blake Griffin, I really didn't like this card too much when I used him. I think Blake is solid, and you probably could put him in B tier, but I like, you know, Rudy Gay and Alex English as cards over Blake Griffin. I could be tripping on the Blake. I just think his defense really isn't the greatest. His jump shot's okay on quick timing. It's nothing crazy. Doesn't have like the best dribble saves in the game. So I think for now, I'll probably throw Blake in C tier, but I think D tier might be fair. Yeah, I'll keep him in C actually. I think Blake in C tier is probably more fair. Bob Nedelecki, I feel like you got to go in the B tier category. Still a 6'9" power forward with a really good jump shot. I mean, that's the best thing about Bob, is 1000% gonna be his release. So I feel like for his release alone, he's still got to be in that B tier category. Pink Diamond LeBron, I think he's on the same tier as AK, plays really good defense, has a solid jump shot. And then talking about Dark Matter LeBron, I think he's also got to go in the S tier category as well. I think the Dark Matter LeBron version is definitely a top 15 card in the game. I mean, he does everything at such a high level, plays defense really good, obviously good at going to the basket, can handle the ball, shoot the 3 ball. I mean, he does everything at such a high level. Cameron Reddish honestly is B tier. I think Reddish is an absolute dog at the shooting guard position. I actually like him even more than a guy like Alex English. He just plays so well in game, has a great jump shot, and he's 6'8" at that shooting guard position. Carmelo Anthony is just slightly worse than Alex English. I don't think he's that much worse where I'm going to put him into D tier, but I think C tier is probably a fair spot. Just a slightly worse Alex English. They're basically the same card though. Kazi Russell, I feel like is also a C tier card. I probably have to move it around a little bit because some cards do have to be in D tier. I can't just have everybody in C, but I'd say Kazi Russell for now is just slightly worse than a guy like Alex English. And then him and Carmelo, I do think is a very close debate. Seti Osman, I think you also got to go C tier, right? I mean, I think Seti's still really good. Chet, another really good power forward slash big man. I mean, there will be probably a lot of cards in C. I will say Curry though, probably our second an D tier card. I'm not saying Curry's bad, by the way. I just want to, you know, emphasize this, and I'll probably say it a lot of times throughout the tier list, but you guys got to remember, these are literally the top 100 cards in the game. So even if you're in C tier or D tier, I'm not saying they're bad cards at all. Like, Curry is still very good on the offensive end. You can still use him at a very high level if you know how to 3-hunt with him, and if you're good with him, he could probably be C tier or maybe even B if you're really good with this Steph Curry card. But for most people, and myself included, I do think Curry's going to be in D tier. Claxton, honestly, I mean, you can make an argument for Claxton in B tier. I'm gonna keep him in C for now, but I think you can make a real argument for Claxton in that B tier category. Dark Matter Anthony Davis, I feel like is going to be the perfect A tier card. Is he top 15 in the game? He might be. I'm not exactly sure what my top 15 cards look like, but he's such a good card stats and badges wise. They just gave him a jump shot only on quick timing, and I feel like that really hurt the card overall as a power forward. So for me, I think Anthony Davis probably going to be in that A tier category. Still a very good Dark Matter card though, I will say. DeMar DeRozan, I feel like he's got to go in D. I would personally take Kazi Russell, Seti, Carmelo, and Alex English over him, but not a bad card at all. Once again, another really good shooting guard card, very usable in game, has a good jump shot, just not going to be on the same level as an Alex English or a Seti Osman. Denny, I feel like is probably B tier. I would say out of everybody in C tier, there's no point guards yet, but I do think he's probably a B tier card. He plays really good defense. He's 6'9". He's basically just a budget Ben Simmons and a budget Magic Johnson. Dennis Johnson, speaking about another Dennis card, or another Johnson card, I should say, I feel like he's probably C tier. I think he's a good point guard, plays really good defense. Is he as good as Denny? I would say he's probably a little bit worse than Denny, so I'm gonna throw him in that C tier category. There probably will be a lot of cards in C. I think that's probably going to be the most popular tier, but still, I think Dennis Johnson in that C tier category. Dino Raja, am I crazy to say A tier? I don't think I am. I think Dino is an absolute beast. If you guys don't know, he does have an 8-foot wingspan, also is 6'11", but that 8-foot wingspan makes such a difference at the power forward and the center position. His SIGs are really good. I mean, he's got the Steve Francis size up. He's got a great jump shot with the D-Mitch base, and just all around, I think Dino Raja is an A tier card. Looking at the next one though is going to be Dirk, who I feel like is probably B tier, probably kind of somewhere in that mid B tier spot. I think he's a little bit better than Bob Medelecki, has a great jump shot. Defensively, he's a little bit slow, not the best laterally, so I'd say he's probably somewhere in my B tier. Dolph Schayes, I think, is a little bit worse than Bob Medelecki. I'm gonna probably throw Dolph in C tier. He's 6'8", doesn't play the greatest at defense, and if you're 6'8" at power forward and you're not like Bob, who has really good defensive stats and badges, then I think you probably got to go in C tier. Pink Diamond D-Rob, I know it might sound crazy to say, but I'm throwing him in B tier. I would take him at the center position over Chet. Nicholas Claxton is a close debate, but I think Pink Diamond D-Rob is still probably somewhere in that B tier category. The Dark Matter D-Rob though, 1000% going to be a top 15 card in the game in that S tier category. Such a good power forward, plays really good defense, has a great jump shot, really good dribble sigs as well for a D-Rob card. So for me personally, going to be an S tier. Mark Eden, now this is a very interesting one. For me personally, I don't like cards that can't shoot, but I will still put him in C tier because I know a lot of people like him and he plays really good defense and he's 7'4". But for me, I need a center that can shoot. I like the space with the floor, and that's why I get a lot of buckets by spacing out and 5ing out as well. So for me, Mark Eden isn't my, typical center, but I'll still throw him in the C tier category because he's 7'4" and a very good defender. Ray Allen, I feel like he's got to be in the A tier category. He's a very good offensive shooting guard, has a great jump shot, Steve Francis size up, pretty much does everything at a high level except the fact that he's 6'5". I don't think he's a top 15 card in the game, but I definitely will put him in that A tier category. Dr. J, I feel like is probably C tier. I mean, is he better than Alex English? I personally don't think so. I think that's a close debate, but I would say Dr. J probably in my C tier category. Tyreek Evans, this might be a little bit crazy. I don't think Tyreek Evans is that good of a point guard. I'm damn near about to take Curry over him. I just don't think he's really that great. He's 6'6", but he doesn't really stand out to me. Doesn't have an amazing jump shot, doesn't have great dribble sigs, doesn't play that good at defense, even though he's 6'5". I would much rather Dennis Johnson over him, and then obviously like a Denny as well. Looking at the next card is going to be Gary Payton. Talking about point guards, I think GP 1000% going to be in the A tier category. I mean, he is one of the more underrated cards in the game, I will say. I mean, at least right now, he's only going for about 65,000 MT, and he is such a good 6'4" point guard with a 6'7" wingspan. He plays really good defense, one of the best defenders in the game at the point guard position, really good Hall of Fame defensive badges. But the best thing about this card has nothing to do with his stats and nothing to do with his badges. It's when you go to his animations. He's got the Trae Young escape, which is probably the best escape in the game that literally no cards in the game have it besides Trae Young. He's also got the Dame behind the back, which is the best in the game. He's got the Paul George size up, which is really good. And then he's also got like the MJ dribble style, you know, Trae Young leaner, which is also very nice. And then he's also got that that jump shot on very quick timing. So for me, Gary Payton could possibly be the second or third best point guard in the game. Is he top 15? Probably just barely missing out, maybe somewhere in the top 20. But I think for now, he'll be somewhere in that A tier category. Another really solid center though, kind of similar to a guy like, you know, D-Rob. I do think Marc Gasol probably fits somewhere in the C tier category. Not a bad budget center. I think he's better than Mark Eaton in my opinion, just because I like to stretch up the floor a little bit more. So I think Marc Gasol probably goes somewhere in C tier. Gerald Green, I mean, is a good budget shooting guard. I will say he's very solid at the shooting guard spot, but I just don't think you can really put him higher than D tier. Maybe he goes in even F, to be honest. George Gervin is probably A tier. He's still a dark matter, really good at going to the rim, has 30 Hall of Fame badges. Even though not too many people have this card, still wanted to include him on this tier list, and I feel like he'd probably be in that A tier category. Dark matter Giannis, I feel like maybe is another A tier guy. Is he better than Anthony Davis? I think that's the kind of close debate. I mean, both these guys could possibly be in the in the S tier category at the end of the video. I just want to keep them in A tier for now, just to see who else we have on this list. But I think for now, they're perfect guys at that A tier category. Dark matter Kobe, 1,000,000,000% going to be an S tier. He is such a beast at the shooting guard position. One of the most fun cards to use in the game. Has a great jump shot, pretty good sigs with the Curry escape and the Curry slide. I mean, just overall, such a beast at that shooting guard position. Next card is going to be Pink Diamond Hakeem, and I just don't think Hakeem's that great. I'll probably throw him in D, and I think I'm also going to move Gerald Green down into F tier. I would definitely take, you know, DeMar DeRozan, you know, these type of guys at the shooting guard spot. Not to say Gerald Green's bad, but I just think there's a little bit better cards in the D tier category. James Harden, I think, is probably B tier. I think he's slightly worse than a guy like Denny, but it really depends what you need out of your point guard. If you're looking for more offense and a guy that can handle the rock and a guy that can score, then you go for James Harden. If you're looking for maybe the all-around better point guard, a guy that gives you defense, he's 6'9", and then I'd say Denny's probably slightly better, but I think they both deserve to be somewhere in that B tier category. Dark matter Tyler Hero, I feel like is also B tier. I think he's kind of underrated. He's got a great jump shot, Steve Francis size up. I think he's just James Harden, but slightly worse on the defensive end. I think they're both going to be somewhere in that B tier category. Dark matter Oscar, talking about point guards, I do think he's slightly better than those two point guards and Denny, so I'd probably throw Oscar in that A tier category. I think him and Gary Payton is a semi-close debate. I would say they're very similar at the point guard position. Jaden McDaniels, I would say, is probably C tier or maybe D. I'll probably go D tier. I don't really like this Jaden McDaniels card as much as a lot of people do. I think he's good at the small forward position. He's 6'9", but I'm not the biggest fan of his jump shot. But all around, I'll still probably throw him in D tier. He's still a good small forward though. I'm not saying he's bad. He's still a very good small forward. Jonathan Isaac, talking about small forwards, 1,000,000,000% going to be an A tier. Such a good defender, plays really good defense, block shots, contest shots, gets a ton of pluck steals. I mean, he's got a great jump shot. He can move a little bit on the court. He's 6'11" at the small forward position. I mean, I think he's close to a guy like Giannis and better at small forward as well. Looking at the next card is going to be Ja Morant. I'll probably throw him in C tier. He's a little bit short of a point guard, but still can rim run at a very high level, and I would take him over Tyreek Evans and Steph Curry, not by a ton, but just slightly over at the point guard position. Lance Stevenson, talking about point guards, I feel like he deserves to be in B tier. I think Lance is really good. I think he's even comparable to a guy like Tyler Hero. Like, I don't think that's a crazy debate to make, or even over Denny. Like, I don't think it's crazy to say Lance is the best point guard in B tier. I'm not saying he is, but I don't think it's crazy to say. I think Lance is super underrated at that point guard position. Jaylen Brown, I think he's just slightly better than DeMar DeRozan. I'll probably throw him in high D tier. Like, he's probably the best card in D tier. I think his jump shot's a little bit questionable though. James Wiseman, 1,000% going in B tier. He's just a better D-Rob, I would say, or at least they're close. These are two of the best budget big men in the game, the best budget centers, and I think they're probably deserving of being in the same tier. Both going to be in that B tier category. Jaren Jackson Jr., I mean, I think D tier. He's a good defender, but I just think his jump shot really isn't the greatest. Joe Johnson, probably another D tier card. I wasn't really the biggest fan of this card when he first dropped, so I'd say Joe Johnson probably in that D tier category. Joel Embiid, I mean, probably C tier. I would take him at power forward over like Jaren Jackson Jr. I would take him over, you know, Hakeem at center. I think he's probably low C tier though. I don't think he's too great at the center position or power forward, but still probably deserving of C tier. Dwayne Wade, I think him, Oscar, Gary Payton is all very close. I mean, him and Gary Payton are probably closer in the fact that they're both really good defensive point guards. Gary Payton's got a way better jump shot and way better dribble sigs than Wade. So I would say, you know, Gary's a decent amount better than a Dwayne Wade. I think him and Oscar though are very close on skill skill level, but I think you still got to throw Wade somewhere in that A tier category. I know a lot of people don't like this card because of his jump shot, but I think he's actually super underrated. Nikola Jokic, I feel like is probably high B tier. I think he's better than a Dirk, he's better than a Bob. Is he on the same level as a Giannis, an AD, a Dino Raja? I think he's just slightly worse and probably like the best card in B tier. So if you wanted to throw him in A tier, that's definitely not a bad thing. You know, it's not crazy to say he's an A tier, but I think for now he'll just be in my B tier category. Next card though is going to be Josh Smith, I should say. He doesn't have a great jump shot, really bad jump shot, but he still is really good at going to the rim. I would say probably C tier is a fair spot. Like C tier is just mid. I mean, they're not terrible cards, but they're not bad. Like if we're talking about the best cards in the game, like they're all very good cards. They're just kind of mid when we're talking about the best cards in my team. Next card though is going to be Ben Simmons, easily going to be in that A tier category. I think him and, you know, even these 3 point guards are all very close. It really depends what you need out of your point guard, what you like from your point guard. I think Gary Payton might be better than Ben Simmons, but I think they all deserve to be somewhere in A tier, all very elite at that point guard position. Next card though is going to be Drew Holiday. I think he's probably better than most of these point guards in C. I like him over Dennis Johnson. I like him over Ja. You know, those point guards, I do like him over. Is he better than Harden, Denny, Tyler Hero, Lance? I think he's just kind of that one step down. His jump shot is really inconsistent and very hard to green. So for that reason, I'll probably throw him in C tier. Olowokandi, I feel like it's got to be on the same level as a Pink Diamond D-Rob and a James Wiseman. I mean, they're all very similar at that center position. So I'll say Olowokandi is on the same tier as a D-Rob and a James Wiseman. I think he's slightly worse than those two centers, but still got to be somewhere on the same tier. Pink Diamond Cream, I think, is just shot one step down compared to those Pink Diamond centers. His jump shot is not terrible, but a 63 ball at this time of the year, even though you can green pretty consistently with him, I still think he's a very good defender. But for me personally, I'd probably throw Cream in that high C tier category. Karl Malone, another C tier guy. I think he's solid at the power forward position. Him and Dolph Shays is very close at power forward. I would say Karl Malone probably in C tier. Kawhi, honestly, D tier. I would take, I mean, who's a small forward? I would take Josh Smith over him. I would take, you know, even Alex English at small forward, AK LeBron. I would take all over this Galaxy Book Kawhi card. He's just really not that great in my team this year. Kevin Durant, I would say is probably C tier. I mean, is he better than an AK or a Pink Diamond LeBron? I personally don't think so, just because I like a lot of defense at my small forward position. So I think KD still deserving of a C tier, has a solid jump shot, and is going to be a very good offensive small forward. Kevin Garnett, 1000% going to be an A tier. Him and AD, Giannis, I feel like this is the very close debate at the power forward position, and then even Dino as well is kind of in that conversation. But these three guys all at power forward, I feel like is very, very close. I'm starting to realize I think Anthony Davis or KG or Giannis will probably be in that the S tier category, but for now I'm just going to keep in the A tier, all very, very good power forwards. Next card though is going to be Klay Thompson. I mean, I just personally don't like this card that much. I know some people are probably big Klay fans and they hate me for putting him in D tier, but I just don't think Klay's that great this year. I do wish I could probably go more in depth for all the cards, but I kind of just got to fly through them and just kind of put them in different tiers and give you like a little explanation about them. I mean, Billy Knight's got one of the best jump shots in the game, plays really good defense, and if you have that dynamic duo with him and Mike Bantam, he is so elite at that shooting guard position. Kristaps, 1000% going to be an S tier. I think he's probably a top 5 card in the game just because of his ability to play center and power forward and be super elite at both of those positions. Has a great jump shot. He's 7'3" and can play power forward. He's got to be in that S tier category. Next card is going to be Luka Doncic. I would say probably C tier. If you are really good with his jump shot, then he could possibly be on the same level as a Harden, a Hero, and a Danny Advia, but I think for now, probably going to be in my C tier category. Mac McClung, he's 6 foot. He's got to be an F tier. As much as I do like the card, but I've realized now he's 6 foot, right? Or is he 6'1"? He might be 6'1", but even if he is, I mean, he can rim run, which is nice, but I'm pretty sure he's 6 foot. He's 6'2". Okay, hold on. He's 6'2". You know, I thought he was actually 6 foot. I'll throw him in D tier then. I did think he was 6 foot, so I'll keep him in that D tier spot then. The D tier spot. Magic Johnson is probably B. I think him and the Pink Diamond Denny are very close. I mean, they're both 6'9" point guards. Aren't great offensive cards, but still play really good defense and have that height and that wingspan to guard the Ben Simmons, the Opal Magic Johnsons, and those cards as well. Speaking of Opal Magic, I'm not sure if he's S tier. I think he probably will be, so I'll put Magic in S tier for now. I like him over Ben Simmons. Him and Gary Payton, I'm not 100% sure of who's better, but for now, I think Magic is probably the more obvious choice to be an S tier over Gary Payton. So for now, I'm gonna probably keep him in that S tier category. Right now, we're at 7 cards and S, and like I said, I want it to be at 15. So I think we're on pace to kind of get that top 15 cards. JaVale McGee, probably D tier. maybe even F. I mean, is he better than Hakeem? I think that's somewhat of a close debate. I mean, there's not going to be too many cards in F tier. T-Mac 1000,000,000% going to be an S. I mean, he's the second or best card in the game. He's just so elite, has the best jump shot, really good dribble sigs. He's 6'8" at shooting guard and can do everything at such a high level with, like I said, the best jump shot in the game. Mikal Bridges, I feel like is a solid C tier card. You know, him and like, you know, Wiggins, him and like Carmelo, Alex English, Seti Osman, Kazi, I feel like are all on the same level and all deserving of being in the C tier category. Michael Jordan, I know people are going to hate me for this. He's going in F tier. Jump shot slow, plays good defense, good at going to the rim, but he's got a jump shot on normal timing and it's a slow jump shot. So for me personally, I wanted to include MJ because we need a Michael Jordan, you know, in the top 100 cards, but I still feel like he's probably in that F tier. Dominique Wilkins, D tier. I think he's maybe better than a guy like Clay, maybe better than Joe Johnson, maybe better than DeMar, but I don't think he's on the same level as an Alex English, a Mikal Bridges. I think he's kind of just that one step down. Next card is going to be Moses Malone. I feel like he's a very solid A tier card. He's a really good power forward. Once again, kind of in this conversation between the KGs, the ADs, the Giannis, the Moses, the Dino, all very similar at the power forward position, and I think they all deserve to be in the A tier spot. MPJ, I feel like you got to throw B tier. I think he's slightly worse than a Rudy Gay, right? Rudy Gay is a little bit better on the defensive end, better going to the rim. MPJ's probably got maybe the better jump shot. That's kind of up for debate, but he's definitely got the better dribble sigs, having the Steve Francis size up and the Kemba Walker escape, so he can move a lot better than Rudy, and he is 6'10" at small forward. But I personally like Rudy Gay a little bit more than MPJ, but very similar at the small forward position. I just want to quickly see how many cards we got left. So I think we've got about 20 cards left here to go. Nate Thurman, probably C tier. I think he's actually pretty underrated at power forward and center. I would say, you know what? Nate Thurman's B tier. I think Nate Thurman's actually super underrated. I think he's a great power forward and a great center as well. He plays good defense. He's actually got a really good jump shot. Besides the fact that he has a 63 ball, he's actually got a really good release. And I feel like you can actually agree with that card pretty consistently. OG Anunoby's got to go D tier. Good defender, but jump shot a little bit slow. Don Ole, I think, is probably C tier at the point guard spot. I think he's slightly better than a Curry. You know, I think he's kind of on the same levels like a Ja Morant, you know, those type of point guards, but I'd take him a little bit more over a Tyreek Evans and a Steph Curry at the point guard position. Pascal Siakam, I mean, is it crazy to say B tier? It might be a little bit crazy, but at small forward, I like him over AK, like him over LeBron, like him over KD. I would say Siakam is probably in B tier. He's such a good all-around card. You just got to get used to his jump shot, and once you get used to his release, I feel like he's a B tier card when we're talking about the top 100 cards in the game. Pau Gasol, probably C tier. Is he better than Marc Gasol? I would say probably not, but I don't think he's that much worse that he's going to be in D tier. Penny Hardaway, I still feel like you probably got to give C. Maybe B tier. I mean, I don't think he's better than Denny or on the same level as a Denny, a Magic, a Harden, a Hero at the point guard position, or Lance Stevenson. So I'd say he probably C tier alongside Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Paul George, honestly, is D tier. I don't think Paul George is that great. I would take KD over him. I'd take those small forwards over him. So I think Paul George is going to be in my D tier category. Scottie Pippen, I feel like you got to have an A tier. I think he's slightly worse than Jonathan Isaac at small forward. Can also play shooting guard as well, which is really nice for somebody who's 6'8" and obviously a very good defender. So for me personally, I'll put Pippen in that A tier category. We got Ricky Davis, who probably is still C tier. I mean, he's better than Jaylen Brown. He's better than a DeMar DeRozan, in my opinion. He's still got one of the best jump shots in the game and still a really good offensive card. Yes, he's a little bit outdated defensive stats wise and maybe badges, but still probably in my C tier category alongside RJ Barrett, who I think is actually pretty underrated and kind of in the mid tier of that C tier spot. Dennis Rodman, I feel like is probably C or D tier. I'll probably give him C tier just because of his defense and he's a really good rebounder, but I would definitely take Siakam and, you know, these small forwards like MPJ and Rudy Gay over him. I think Dennis Rodman probably fair in that C tier category. Opal Russ, I feel like he's on the same level as a Harden, a Denny, a Magic, a Lance. I feel like he's kind of in that conversation of the point guards. I would probably take him over most of these point guards in B tier, but I don't think he's on the same level as like a Gary Payton, a Magic, and Oscar. I do think he's slightly worse than Dwayne Wade, but I think Russ is probably somewhere in my B tier category. Shea is just alongside Drew Holiday. I think they're very similar at the point guard position, at least of how good the cards they are. Obviously, Drew Holiday's more of a defender. Shea's more of an offensive card, but I think they're kind of in that same tier. Shaq, once again, for me, guys, I personally don't like centers that can shoot. Mark Eden's a lot better at the center position for a guy who can't shoot because he's 7'4". I know some people are going to give me hate for putting Shaq in F tier, I should say, but I just don't like centers that can't shoot. If you want to hate on me for it, you guys can go ahead and tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about and I'm just a Shaq hater. You guys can say whatever you want, but Anthony Simmons, whatever his last name is, I think is probably C tier. I think he's a good point guard. I like him more than Curry. I like him even more than a Tyreek Evans. So I would say he's kind of just like a worse Ja Morant, or maybe even better than Ja, depending on whose jump shot you like more. Tatum, I feel like is probably C tier. Another solid small forward. Is he better than Tatum? I think that's kind of the debate. Or is he better than KD, I should say? I think that's kind of the debate at small forward. I'd say he's probably C tier though. Terry Dishinger, another C tier card. Him, Dr. J, Mikal Bridges, Carmelo, Alex English, all 3, 4, 5 of those shooting guards. I think you're all kind of in that same tier. Tim Thomas, I feel like you still got to give A tier, man. He's still got one of the best jump shots in the game. Really good dribble sig. Steve Francis size up, I should say. He's got the LaMelo Ball base and still is a 6'10" power forward. Next card here is going to be Vince Carter. Another probably A tier guy. He's a really good shooting guard. Him and Billy Knight, I think Billy Knight's definitely better than him, but I still think you got to have Vince somewhere in A tier. His ability to get to the basket, he's got a really good jump shot, he's got solid sigs. I would say Vince Carter probably an A tier for me. Walker Kessler is B. I think he's on the same level as a D-Rob, on the same level as like a Nate Thurman, Wiseman, you know, these type of centers. I would say Kessler plays really good defense and probably in my B tier category. Wiggins, once again, pretty much just Mikal Bridges, Dr. J, Terry Dishinger, Carmelo, Alex English. They're all very similar at that shooting guard position, and I feel like you probably got to throw them all in that C tier category. Christian Wood, I feel like is D tier. Not a bad budget power forward, but I just think there's better cards in the game. Yee is probably B. I would say, once again, same level as like the Dirk, same level as the Bob Nedelecki and the Jokic, all very good at the power forward position, has a great jump shot. Just wish he was a little bit better of a defender and a little bit faster. And then the last two cards is going to be Zion, who I'm going to throw in C tier, and then the final card is going to be that man, Galaxy Yao. So we do have a little bit of tier list, you know, adjustments to make, but yeah, Yao is definitely going up in that A tier or S tier category, I should say. So how many cards do we have in S? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have to move 6 cards into the S tier category. Maybe that's a little bit too much. Maybe I'll do 12. So yeah, let me move 3. I'm gonna go, surprisingly enough, I'm going Anthony Davis, I'm going Gary Payton, and then for my final card, that's a close debate. I kind of want to say Billy Knight. I think he's up for debate. I want to say Ben Simmons. I want to say Giannis or KG. I think I gotta go Ben. I think I do got to go Ben Simmons. So I'm going to put these 12 cards in S tier just to kind of balance out the tier list a little bit more. But yeah, guys, this is going to be my top 100 cards tier list. Just to kind of end off the video, I'm just going to quickly scroll down just so you guys can pause the video if you want to see where any cards are. And if you guys have any questions of why I have cards in certain tiers, maybe I didn't go too much in depth about them, or just let me know what you guys would change about my tier list. But if you guys have any questions of why I put one card in this tier and why other card in this tier, just let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll obviously respond to all of your guys' comments. But let me know what you guys think about my tier list. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. It definitely took a lot of time to make and a lot of effort and just, you know, recording and, you know, editing and obviously all that other type of stuff. So if you guys could drop a like and a sub, that'd be definitely appreciative. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. And yeah, this is going to be my top 100 cards in the game tier list. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.